You do. It's a tough line. When is a joke not funny? I know you. A lot of comedy does come from a bit of a dark place.
It's like I've heard some people say that stand-up comedy is the only area in American life where you can talk honestly about race anymore.
It's true. Why is it okay when you're doing stand-up comedy, or if you're because you're always allowed to poke fun at yourself.
Right.
That's why Jews do the best Jew jokes. Chris Rock doing the best black jokes. Yeah, somehow you've got this permission to make fun of yourself. That makes it okay. But I think it's still difficult for a comic to get up there and hurl jokes at. It's still tough for a comic to go and hurl jokes at somebody else.
Yeah.
That's definitely tougher. It's a tougher line that you're pushing.
Have you ever encountered anti-Semitism?
Absolutely. Definitely growing up, I definitely been called names, heard things. I don't think I've ever been the object of any. I don't think I've been the object of any direct physical violence because of it. So there are plenty of people out there, plenty of Jews who have seen, way worse than I have. So I don't live some sort of a life where I feel like I've been scarred by some specific event. But at the same time, like I said, you hear and see and feel enough that it's important to it's important to speak up about it. The other thing that I felt though about tolerance is that in the Museum of Tolerance and my video tolerance, that it's not about one group, and it's not about me and my personal beliefs or my personal situation. If you're to focus on one individual group, you're really missing the entire point of tolerance. Everybody's different in some kind of way, and for anybody to be singled out, for anybody to feel any bit of exclusion or discrimination because of their difference, I mean it's all equally just as bad. And so ultimately everybody needs to protect everybody. Everybody needs to fight against any form of racism, even if it's not specifically even if it's specifically not the one that's applying to you, because it is applying to you. If they're hurling an insult about some other minority group, it might as well be your minority group. And if you can't see it that way, then I think you're really missing the point of tolerance.
So what do you do with all your anger and frustration if you can't be racist?
I don't know. I play a lot of basketball. Take out your aggression on the players on the court. Listen, I don't think everybody's got some. I heard something that I thought kind of rang true. Everybody has prejudices. They've been in us so long that you can't. They've been in us so long that they're part of our evolution almost. You tend to stick to your family because you trust your family. So part of prejudice probably helps some bit of our survival. It's avoiding discriminating against somebody because of their prejudice. You may have a prejudice, and that's for you to work inside on. But what you do with that prejudice, that's where tolerance comes into play. It's about if you have a prejudice, not acting upon it. It's about not discriminating against someone, making sure that you offer them the same job opportunity that somebody else had, over and against the prejudice that you might have had. And of course, listen, if you don't have the prejudice, that's a great place to start from. But if you do have that prejudice, that's why you need to take time to think about tolerance, to promote tolerance.
You kind of got a tough gig in promoting tolerance in that everyone agrees that tolerance is good and that racism is bad. So that makes it tougher, doesn't it?
You wish it was that simple.
Because people take it for granted.
I don't think so. I was really amazed at the amount of. It was sad and unfortunate the amount of negative feedback and negative comments you get on a video like this.
Oh, really? I didn't check the comments.
Yeah, we certainly got a ton of great ones,
but you got a lot of nasty racist.
You get racists who come out of nowhere, and I mean, that's the microcosm you need right there. It's in many ways, I think it's such an easy, simple, almost vague message to get behind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How can tolerance be bad? And yet, you can find people finding faults in it. These are the people who need to watch the video the most. You have people who say it's too ideal, and some people who say it's a little bit up in the clouds, but, I mean, where are you going to start, Where are you going to start?
Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being 9/11 horrible, and 1 being, a slight pain in your, little finger, like, where would you put intolerance? How would you rate intolerance in America today? Like, so 10 is just horrible. It's like World Trade Towers crashing down and people dying, getting killed by, racist hate.
I have to say.
And then 1, 0 is no problem. So where would you put it?
This is one of these things that we're like, we're all a little bit of playthings in the whole media. The best I could do is potentially repeat things I've heard. But, I think we're fed a lot of statistics. I don't know the answer.
So would you say this is a huge problem in America today, intolerance? Would you say it's a moderate problem, or you say it's like a mild little problem?
I think other parts of the world is. I think in the United States our problems are pretty minor compared to other parts of the world. I would say that for other parts of the world to catch up to where we are, we've got a lot of work to do, but other parts of the world might have significantly more. So in the grand scheme of things, this country's come a long way. There's as we've seen, it can take. It's taken since the emancipation of slaves. I mean, we're now at about 150 years, not quite 150 years. We're clearly still not there. So it takes a minimum of 150 years for a country to go through this stuff. So.
Do you think with all this problem?
Well, I take that statement back.
Go ahead.
So the world is changing at a quicker pace than it has been. So if the United States did in 150 years, hopefully the advent of technology and things like YouTube videos, and hopefully other parts of the world looking at some of the freedoms we have in the U.S. And of course, it's about picking the best things out of a culture and trying to integrate those into your own. Hopefully there are people in the other parts of the world that do look at some of our freedoms, and that are, in many ways, these are underlying the values of tolerance, and can integrate those into their own.
What about making judgments versus tolerance? For instance, do you believe that certain cultures are better than other cultures, or are all cultures equal?
Every culture's got some value in it. There's no culture on earth there's no culture on earth. A culture wouldn't survive and thrive if it didn't have some reason for being there. The same way there's value in every single culture. And
but are some cultures better than others? Because he zooms in.
Are some cultures better than others?
Yeah, would you say that American culture is better than like the culture in some country in Africa where they forcibly remove clitoridectomies from women, when they're little kids? And we got democracy and they've got a dictatorship. Does that make us better than them? Our culture better than theirs?
Well, when you're getting to human rights violations, that's a pretty specific area. And if you're talking between who's better, French people or American people, they do things their way, we do things our way, and even between you split up. Human rights violations are kind of where you have to start to draw the line. Human rights violations are where you must draw a line.